never ceases to amaze me how stupid you all look when you're not used to wearing suits. But we'll learn a lot of things in the next week. This group is not any other than we have no females in this group, which is probably a better thing. We don't discourage females, but we don't get too many of them. I'm not sure why. I don't know that reason. If I was that smart and I really understood women, I wouldn't have to do this fucking seminar for sure. I'd have another seminar, and if I could put it in a pill, I'd be the first instant trillionaire on the planet, as you can all imagine. We have an interesting potpourri of individuals from a 15-year-old to a 53-year-old, and we've had younger than 15. We've had 13, but he's still in an insane asylum. The 13-year-old. We never got him back. We snapped his brain, and he's never come back. So he's still with the sick people. But seriously, so far, many of you have followed me for some time, and well, that can be good and good, can be bad. The longest anybody's ever taken to make a decision to come to this seminar is 13 fucking years. 13 years. The second longest is 12 years, and they're both Germanic. The shortest time has been 5 minutes. And I can tell you, if you're closer to the 5-minute end of the continuum as opposed to the 13-year end of the continuum, you've got a better chance of making it. Now, we just finished a hardcore seminar. And to say it was a fucking success would be an understatement of biblical proportion. It's like I was Moses coming down with the tablets to these poor fucks. A step higher than your fucks, because they had already been through this. And where's Matt? Okay, Matt is the only alumni we have here in this group. And Matt, don't associate with him. Don't mingle. Don't, please, you know better than that. But you're not here to make friends. And if I see anybody swapping, information, you're out of here. If I was naive, I'd say don't talk to each other. But I know that's not going to happen. Because if the guy that you're talking to is so fucking smart, he wouldn't be here. And just look at it, think of it. If you want to play golf and you had a chance to have a lesson by this dipshit or Tiger Woods in his prime, who would you go to? It's an oxymoron, right? Now, I said that a few years ago, and the guy happened to be a +4 pro golfer. And so, but you don't look like a +4 pro golfer, so I don't have much to worry about. Well, I don't look like the other guys. I certainly don't sound like the other guys. And to the best of our knowledge, as of about 10 minutes ago, I'm the only one that's created $50 billion with dipshits just like you. And I don't believe on, oh, you're going to do fine and pat you on the shoulder, you're going to just do fine. That's all horse shit. Because no high-performance person that I had the privilege of being with ever did that for me. And I don't know of anybody, other than in books, podcasts, TV shows. That's the only time anybody's ever nice. In the world that I come from, everybody's a hard motherfucker. God bless Donald Trump. I'm not saying I endorse him, but he is at my end of the continuum. And there's a reason why Mr. Trump, who I have happened to have met a long, long time ago, is leading the Republicans. And you can say it's because we're ready for a psychopath. You can say we're ready for another Hitler. You can say for all kind of reasons. But the truth of the matter is he's there. Because political correctness is out of fucking whack. And I believe with all my heart, and you're going to hear it over and over and over again, that political correctness is a manifestation of lack of self-esteem. Because you want people to like you. And I may suffer from a lot of goddamn things, but fuck, that's not one of them. Now, maybe it's because my dad was a hard ass, a cop, CIA, allegedly an assassin. or it's because of my military background. Now, we have 4 vets in the room, 2 American vets, and I thank you all for your service, but maybe it's my military. I don't know. But it doesn't really matter. The fact is that I've produced and developed and continue to improve on a model that has created a lot of money for regular people, starting with 0. That's the most important thing that you're going to hear out of my lips this week, is you don't have to have any fucking money to do what I did and what I continue to teach. Now, some of you got a few shekels. Some of you got a few Jewish coupons, a few ruby, what's the Russian money called? Rubles. Some of you got a few pesos, whatever. That's fine, but you don't need them for this deal. Some of you have got 80 IQs, some of you got 160 IQs. I would be disingenuous if I told you it was not easier if you got a 160 IQ. But it's not impossible if you got an 80 IQ. And we're going to run through some examples of people that had 80 IQs, if that created $300, $400, $500 million deals. Now, for those of you that have a 160 IQ, or higher, it can make it a little easier. It can make it a little easier. I look forward to these weeks. I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning. I was excited. I'm still excited after doing this for 23 motherfucking years. Just imagine if your significant other that you fuck, you were still excited after 23 days, 23 weeks, let alone 23 fucking years. We all know that doesn't happen, except in the movies. Instead of waking up like this, you wake up like that. Well, I still get excited about this. Because I know even the stupidest in this group, the one that's going to be the least successful, will be significantly more successful than you are now. And that gives me a heart on. Makes me feel good. Now, some people, I am a selfish son of a bitch. And the reason why I want you to be successful is because your success is a manifestation of my success as being the fucking greatest motherfucking high performance coach that ever walked the planet. That's the only reason I care about you. Not because you're black, yellow, blue, purple, a wannabe Filipino. We got a wannabe Filipino. He can explain it to you himself later. We got a wannabe here. By the way, our camera crew is from the Philippines. It's a couple of my crack staff from Manila that flew in just to see the wannabe Filipino, just to meet. I do believe in stupid questions. For those of you that aren't prepared, it will become intuitively obvious to the stupidest person in this group that you didn't prepare to come here. I gave you a list of fucking things to read. I can just look around and I know at least half of you didn't read any of them. One person, 2, maybe 3, read all of them. Doesn't mean that the person that didn't read anything, as opposed to, or being compared to the person that read everything, is going to be more successful. Because at the end of the day, we have 2 bank accounts in life. We have an emotional bank account, and we have a financial bank account. Everybody in this room is lacking in their their emotional bank account. I asked you a lot of questions. What are your regrets? Some of you dipshits said you had no regrets. Well, that's a fucking lie. You're stupid. Some of you got regrets because all your siblings died from overdose. Some of you have regrets because you got to support your father and mother because they're drunk bums. Some of you got regrets because you didn't finish school. Some of you got regrets because you didn't fucking go to school. Some of you got regrets because of your military background. You could have done this, but you did this. Some of you got regrets that you didn't come here sooner, and some of you, as of tonight, have regrets that you even showed up. Because this is only the prologue. Yeah, I can smell a Canadian. I can smell him. But I'm a kinder, gentler guy now. Although I told there's a father-son team here. I told the father if the son steps out of line, as I told the son tonight, I would make an exception that I haven't hit anybody here in 12 or 14 years. Now, when we sit down for dinner, I'm only doing this because we had an incident, shall we say. at the last seminar. And I'm going to attribute it to, because it was New Year's or Christmas Eve. It started on Christmas Eve. That they drank too much. Not one, not two, not three, but most of them. And one of the guys, I won't say get aggressive, but when I say I'm going to rip your head off and shit down your neck, I mean it. Now, when we go into the dining room, I'm going to give you a little etiquette. And again, they were drunk, so maybe they don't understand. But you're stone sober. You look stone sober anyway. When we go in, you all stand up until everybody's in the room. Sally will sit down, and then when everybody's around the table, then you sit down. That's how refined people do it. And what I'm trying to do is make you refine more than your parents did, because your parents failed. And then when Sally picks up her motherfucking fork and knife, you pick it up. Not before. And you use the silverware from the outside in. And from the top down. And the glasses from the outside in. Now, I just give you an etiquette class you probably would have paid $5,000 for in about one sentence. Now, I look forward to the next week more than you. I'd pay you to come to this motherfucker. Because somehow, this guy is going to prove to the world is the greatest high-performance coach that ever fucking walked. Now, I know you can't see it by looking at him. Or maybe it's better if you look at this guy. Or, now, we'll stop there. I won't get around to the two Canadians. We got at least two Canadians, I know. Yeah, I can smell them. We got two. Do we have more than two Canadians in the room? I know you. Two. One Lithuanian. I know, believe me, I was just trying to see you. Maybe, you know, and I've never done, if I did cocaine, maybe I'd have better smelling. Okay. Please, I'd say, are there any questions, but one of you probably asked me once, so fuck you. Okay, let's go eat.